As darkness falls on Grottu-ville, it's Grottu-a-Go-Go. Friday night, go-go, Friday night after dark. It's our weekly hangout spot here on the Grottu-Orloff Inspirational Network. We're up here on the 7th floor of the Grottu-Orloff International Building of Trade. And we're having a psychedelic freak out up here. Talking about comic books and pop culture, all the things that your mom and dad threw away, all the things that you got in trouble with from your teachers and principals for having in school. Those are the things we love here on the Grottu-Orloff Inspirational Channel. So cheers. Make sure that you're drinking Bubble Up, our sponsor. It's June 4th, 1967 here on the Grottu-Orloff channel. And, do not forget our other sponsor, Fang, the breakfast drink for vampires. So, got packages out today to Captain Strangelife and Graphic Man. So I can give you those tracking numbers if soon. But right now, we're having a blast here, spinning records up here in the Grottu-Orloff International Building of Trade and reading comic books and doing all that is great in life. Now, I gotta get my Coca-Cola, that is. Hold on a minute. Look, it's like we're separated at birth, Grottu and the Mandarin. Well, anyway, I just went to Brahms, got a cheeseburger, and there wasn't a single person in there wearing a mask. None of the employees are wearing. It's the first time I've gone to a place in, at least an eating establishment, where no one's wearing a mask. So I think everything's falling apart for the globalists, possibly. So the Keebler Cookie Elf, they've got all his emails, and they've exposed him as a fraud. And then today, our president Joe Biden said that COVID deaths are up. I think he meant to say down, but he read it wrong. But he makes mistakes because he was born with a speech impediment, so that explains why he can't read a teleprompter. I just all day I've been thinking about when the press was so adoring. He was coming out of some ice cream place, and he had an ice cream cone, and the press says, What type of ice cream is that, Mr. Biden? And he says, chocolate chip. You remember that? Watch it. We're two-fisted drinkers here on the Grottu-Orloff channel. Okay. So, what's interesting going on in the world? Hold on. All right. Well, I'm going to move this light slightly.
Warning. Godzilla versus the Thing. A shattering motion picture not for the weak of heart.
I'm adjusting the lighting slightly.
Is a soul-shocking experience.
There, that's better. Still get the effect, but yeah.
Challenge Godzilla to a battle of unhuman strength versus supernatural evil. Godzilla versus the Thing.
There, that's a little better. Cool. All right, so
The world's most terrifying monster. C. Armies of the world destroyed by the Thing.
okay.
The producers of Godzilla vs. the Thing issue warning to those who cannot take its full horror. To you with guts, you must see Godzilla
So,
vs. the Thing.
June 4th, 1967, here on the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel. Oh, I'm going through trash. I mean, I have piles of papers, and I'm trying to clean up. So that may be part of what I do here on the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel tonight. So, so we have here. Whoa. Well, these are just stuff that was photocopied, that it's in big piles, and I've got to decide what stays and what goes. Here's Dracula. That goes in the stay pile.
Your Easter memories, silk finished borderless color photo prints are just 14 cents each plus developing at Kmart. This offer is good for all film sizes except 110 and 4 in film. Kmart color prints, just 14 cents each, plus developing now through April 5th at all area Kmart stores.
So, oh, this is definitely cool. Look at that, I've got to have this framed. I like this picture on the internet. I think I will adopt them, and actually I already framed this. I have a copy framed down in the laundry room. So they're now part of my family. What I do is I'll go into antique stores, or I'll find pictures on the internet, and someone's relative that they're now selling is an antique photo, and I will adopt them. And speaking of that, I've got an important announcement here on Friday night, June 4th, 1964. Just like I will adopt this dog Spot, who's aged, I think it says 8 weeks. So I can frame this, and that dog will be one of my family. Okay, so you've heard of the EC Fan Addicts Club. You've heard of the Mary Marvel Marching Society. You've heard of FOOM. You've heard of the KISS Army. Well, I think it's important that tonight, as the summer begins, we begin a new venture, which is the Grottu Army. So all you've got to do, you don't have to pay anything. Just down below, like the video, and then write, I want to join the Grottu Army. Just write that. And then on the next episode, I will mention you. If you've got a channel, I'll talk about your channel. I'll investigate your channel, and I'll talk about it. So a lot of you don't have any videos up, so I won't obviously talk about that. But I'll talk about, what I'll do is I'll mention you, I'll give you a membership number, and I'll give you a name, and a secret, well, a public name, because I'll be telling it on the show. So, for instance, let's say your name is Bill Phillips, and then I'll say, well, Bill, you're member number 1 of the Grottu Army, and your name will be Magog Orloff. I'll give you a name, some kind of cool name, and then you'll have the last name Orloff, and you'll become part of the Orloff family. It's not a fan club, you're going to join a family. And then if you want to use the Orloff name on your channel, if that Bill Phillips wants to become Magog Orloff on his social media, then we could take over, and the Orloff family could take over the whole internet. Look at this, man. 100 years ago, and look how cool people were 100 years ago. The sign says, notice automobiles are forbidden from driving or parking on the grass, and they've covered up the GR. They're from driving or parking on the ass. And this is 100 years ago that this picture was taken. So I put it to you that people, there have been cool people always. These would have been members of the Grottu army for sure. There have always been cool people. It's just we haven't always had photography. They found, graffiti on ruins, a couple thousands years old, that they found that there are always been cool people. They just went through one of those dark rides, one of those spook house rides. They had quite an experience, didn't they? Things were once very cool. Look at this, man. There's no little orange tip on that. It's just man. Toy guns used to be cool before the orange or red tips. Ridiculous. Now, we were joking about face masks. I think that the next time that they decide to create a bioweapon, or they decide to release something to mess with the election or something, this is the face mask we'll wear to the stores next time. If I was the Keebler Cookie Elf, I would have recommended, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we know it all started with bats. We'll use a bat as our face mask to shield us from the big C-19. Wouldn't that would be ballsy. It's like, I'll just wear a bat to cover myself. Actually, you're not wearing it to protect yourself. You're wearing it to protect all the other people from your filthy disease germs. Nice people dancing to good soul music. Here's Yvonne Craig. Here's Gene Seberg. Listening to John Vernon's performance as Iron Man. I realize that these 1966 Marvel cartoons, the animation is, it's basically like watching a slideshow. But it's basically Xeroxed from the original comic book panels. And but here's the thing, guys. I love it. You may hate it. That's fine. If you don't like the animation, and granted it's not great animation, the thing about it is the acting, the music. It's all done with such style. And if what you can do is just listen to the sound. Just play the disc. Don't look at it. There's the Black Widow. Just don't look at it, and just read the comics, and it like this. Remember these books? Power records, right? You have a 45 RPM record in the back, and then you read along to the comic book story, and then when it gets to when you have to turn the page, there's a little ding. You saw these when you were a kid. Well, if you have the old Silver Age, this would be a quite pricey comic that they're adapting here. But if you have the old Silver Age, Tales of Suspense or Tales to Astonish or all those comics, just or the old Journey into Mysteries, read the comic and listen to the soundtrack coming from your television speakers, and it will enhance the experience. Because to me, this is like listening to old-time radio shows. Just the sound is wonderful. In fact, I've made audio tapes of the '66 Marvel Superheroes cartoon just to listen in the car, because it's just you don't really need to see the pictures. It's just like a radio show, like they had made a Thor or a Hulk radio show, and the acting is great. John Vernon is a great actor. This is probably the best thing Canada's ever done. I challenge you to think of something else that Canada has produced that is this great. I don't know. I may be wrong. No offense to Tom Smith. I know you live in Canada. I'm just saying that this is great. And William Shatner is also a great product of Canada, and John Byrne. Everyone's forgotten about Bob and Doug McKenzie. I just found a shirt in the closet that says, what was their slogan? They were, forget something like, they would always say A and Hoser and all that. They made a movie called Strange Brew. I enjoyed that movie. That was from, Second City Television, SCTV. That's a great product of Canada. What am I talking about? And I'm trying to think of something else great from Canada. I want to do more live streams. I had a lot of fun the other night. I watched it. It seemed like I talked way too much. I need to learn to zip. I was just excited that it was working, and I just started talking too much. But next time, I promise to not be such an asshole. What am I? I was wondering what I was doing. Now you can wear Frankenstein socks, and you can have a Frankenstein handkerchief. It's going to be such a shame that we can't, when all the masks go away, I'm just going to miss them so much. They were so much fun. Who's afraid of Jonathan Frid? Everybody. Jumbo Comics just commented, and I missed it. Whenever someone comments on YouTube, it pops up on the top of my phone, and I didn't read it in time. I guess when I'm finished, it'll tell me what Jumbo had to say. Space apes land on the California coast. President asked for a probe. Oh, they finally released the big thing. The government released that, well, there's something there. We can't explain it, but they didn't admit anything. They said, well, we don't have any proof that they're from outer space. People have been talking about in June. They may have disclosure. They may admit that the government's been working with space aliens, these Nordic giants that have been, and there have been different races from outer space helping the Germans in World War II and helping us, but no such luck. I didn't think that they would release anything. They just... Do you know what panel this, do you know what comic book this panel's from? I just found it on the internet and printed it. Meanwhile, all over the country, kids are watching their favorite shows. I love Star Trek. Said no girl that looks like that ever in the history of mankind. I don't think so. The girl that would have been doing that looks like Velma, but there's nothing wrong with Velma. A lot of people cosplay Velma from Scooby-Doo. A lot of people have a fetish for that. Okay, let's see. Great show. Love those old Marvel cartoons from the 60s also. Okay, that's Jambo. The comment appeared again because it first appears on YouTube Studio, then it appears on the channel. All right. Well, this is some party when the Batman show was premiering, and this guy's Batman suit probably looks better than the real one they used in the TV show, but that's just so cool, the band playing there, and yeah, that's an amazing picture. Ooh, I've got 2 copies of this. I just sent a package off to Captain Strangelove. I put a bunch of these pictures in his package. But see, I've got 2 copies of this picture. So I'm gonna, what I do when I find I have 2 copies, I put one over here and one over here to possibly send to people in packages. And Captain Strangelove sent me several packages, so I needed to return the favor. And look at this. Isn't that cool? Charles Middleton, Emperor Ming. They say if they do a Flash Gordon movie, they're gonna change Ming because it's a bad stereotype. I guess a bad stereotype of people from Mongo. But you know, actually, there were a lot of in the 30s negative stereotypes of Asians because of what was happening over there. The war was brewing. But oh well. People just can't have fun. Just relax and have fun. I've never heard of anyone offended by Ming the Merciless ever. Or the Mandarin. I don't know. Oh, I have 2 pictures of this. 2 copies. So I'll put one over here. Oh, I love this picture. I just remembered I got to do something. Here, okay, I'll put this where you can watch this for a little bit. I've got to do something here. Oh shit! Fuck this. That didn't work. That was a dumb move. God damn it. Okay. Shit. Yes. Everything's falling apart on the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel. If I was just one of those normal people that didn't had a shit. I messed up the lighting. You goddamn cocksucking son of a bitch, you fucking lord. Fuck you. No. Oh. Shit. Stay. Hold on. Where can I put these guys? Okay, I'll be back in a second.
Why don't we go after that rather-harried Black Widow? She won't get away, Happy. She failed her mission and days are numbered. Wherever she goes, I'm sure that someday the Black Widow will spin one web too many and catch herself. I pity her.
Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool effect with a heart of steel.
Hold on, I'll just take you guys with me. Okay. I'm recording, and I have to finalize a disc and start another one is what I'm doing here. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. So, what I'm doing is I'm going to go to my folder, Music June 2021. See, I've got all these different playlists that you can go look at the playlist yourself. It's down below. But this is music I started collecting a few days ago. And I wanted to record some 60s garage rock. And here we go.
Hey, we're gonna be having a big psychedelic freak out tonight on the Grottu-a-Go-Go Inspirational Network. It's gonna be great. It's Friday night after dark with your host Grottu-a-Go-Go. It's tonight, June 4th, Friday night after dark.
That's right, Oscar, the magic trash goblin. Tonight will be a very special episode, so make sure you tune in. Here on the Grottu-a-Go channel will be about 7 o'clock. Take care. Okay, that's the first one I'll record. Okay. You got lighting like the movie Creep Show here. Not intentional. They've made a TV version of the Creep Show movie. Greg Nicotero, who's an old friend of my friend that passed away, they worked on movies together. He's a special effects guy in Los Angeles. I think he achieved a lot of fame by being the special effects guy on The Walking Dead. Anyway, I guess because of that, he was given the ability to make his own series. But I haven't heard anyone really talk about whether it's good or not. It's on some streaming channel. I have no idea which one. Creep Show. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're recording now. All is well. Now I need to grab this disc. Okay. Welcome to my world. Won't you step on in? Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Welcome to my... What am I fucking doing? Welcome to my world, okay? Alright. Oh, I wanted to grab that thing, too. I'm walking around like I'm Joe Biden, man. I make fun of him, and then look at me. It's not cool to make fun of an old man with dementia, and I would never do that. It's just that he's always been an evil, lecherous, perverted, stupid asshole his entire life, so I feel like it's okay to make fun of him. Oh, look at this Hot Wheels car. He's like a surfer guy. Well, this might be a good thumbnail image for the video. Welcome to the world of Grottu. Remember, if you want to join the Grottu army, put a message down below. I'd like to join the Grottu army. And you don't even have to have a physical or go through boot camp, man. You're in. You're in like Flynn. In like Flynn, Errol Flynn, or you could be in like Flint, Derek Flint. Whichever one you want to be in like. In like John Holmes, whatever you want to be in like. People use the expression in like Flynn and don't realize that it's the dirty origins of the expression. Shit. Because most people are not as smart as we are. God damn it. Motherfucker. This is the worst Friday night after dark ever. Come on, you fuck. Alright. I'm trying to change the music because I figure we're having a go-go psychedelic freakout and we need some music suited for that occasion. So I'm putting on a stack of 45s on the player so we can get to that. Where did that fucking thing go? I said I'd have all this fixed up in here, but it didn't happen. It's better than it was, but I'm still in the process of building back better.
A Tunnel Vision late night special. Thursday at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Central.
Damn it. It's hot in here. You know, it's still, we had another cloudy, rainy day. It just, damn, I'm fat. Every day. All May. Now it's June. Cloudy, rainy, almost all the time with an occasional glimpse of the sun. That's what happens when a state votes Republican and a Democrat's in office. They use the HARP project to alter the weather. But here in the Grottu-a-Go-Go International Building of Trade, It's always sunny weather. All right. Back to fun. Oh, the music. All right. This is the music that you should be listening to while you're reading Journey into Mystery, Tales of Suspense, Tales to Astonish, while you're reading the Doom Patrol, the real Doom Patrol, the 60s Doom Patrol, while you're reading Fantastic Four. Listen to this, because that's what kids at the time would have been listening to. That or they'd be listening to Mantovani coming from their parents' stereo. All right, let's see what other garbage I have here in the second room 2 of the 7th floor of the International Building of Trade. I think this movie is on YouTube in a low quality form, but trust me, I need to double check. I don't think it's as cool as this picture would make you. How could it not be cool? I need to look for this movie, damn it. Damn, I gotta frame that. I just need to get a gigantic house where I can frame everything and have it all up. Dr. Terra's House of Horrors. If you saw this ad in the newspaper and you didn't go to this, then there's really, like, something seriously wrong with you. Fred Gwynn.
You will see actual footage, never before seen by the public, which shows some of the most startling displays of psychic power ever filmed. Psychic experiences have been documented throughout the ages and continue to be recorded today. Do you have extrasensory perception? You will be able to decide for yourself as we boldly explore whether or not man's mind really does have control over matter.
Happiness is a stack of comic books.
From Sun Classic Pictures, where to go?
I gotta frame that too.
If you have blown up for me ever since I've known you.
Here's a picture of Stan Freberg. I was talking about Stan Freberg the other night on the live stream. This comedian and his work on record is the audio equivalent of early Mad magazine. I know they made Mad magazine records, but they were never as much like the magazine as this guy here, Stan Freberg. You hear his you hear him on in Warner Brothers cartoons. I mean, Mel Blanc does a good majority of the voices, but it's like the ones that aren't Mel Blanc a lot of times are Stan Freberg. You know, like George is my friend. I think that's him in those cartoons. I could be wrong. So yeah, make sure you're drinking Bubble Up. It's the drink that Grottu drinks. See, I'm always drinking it. All right. Stan Freberg. Oh, I have 2 pictures of Stan Freberg. Maybe I could include one in act of kindness package to Tom Smith, the master of humor magazines. But actually, Tom Smith probably knows where that illustration came from and has the magazine it came from. And will be able to tell me the issue number, the volume, and the number of the month and year. Tom, make sure you write down below where is that illustration coming from. It looks like it's of EC origin. And I know Stan Freberg did the forward to at least one of the early Mad paperbacks. Here's Queen of the Mayhem. Not Queen of the May, Queen of the May. Queen of the Mayhem. Mystery Girl of 1947. See, there's 47 again. I told you before that 1947 appears in all kinds of cool contexts, and it doesn't get any cooler than this photograph. I mean, there's two types of people in the world. People that see this picture and say, eh, and there's people that see this picture and say, oh my God, that's one of the most amazing images ever photographed in the history of photography since it was invented in like 1850 or something. I mean, and more than likely, if you watched 41 minutes and 41 seconds into tonight's episode, you'd be someone that would go, oh my God, I've got to have this image. I've got to frame that. And why I haven't framed it yet, there's no excuse for that. Here's something that I need to do. Make correct posture a habit. Oh man, I saw this damn movie in San Antonio when I was a kid. My parents took me to it. It's like right before we moved from San Antonio to Washington State. And it was a sad time because I was leaving San Antonio. I didn't really realize how sad it was until I got to Washington State and realized, well, now I only have one friend here, Roland Perry, who was the guy that told me that I need to go out and get these new X-Men comics, and I'd go, yeah, right. But I didn't start buying them until I moved the next year to Grottu-a-Go. This movie is called Tidal Wave. It was after all the disaster movies were so cool there in the mid-70s. You know, you had started with the Poseidon Adventure in 72, and then you had Airport 75, well, Airport really 1970, but there was a cluster of them right together. Airport 75, Towering Inferno, Earthquake, that had Lauren Green in it, and yeah, he was in it, wasn't he? Or was that? Yeah, and then I think so. But then there were some others, but those were the main three. And then Jaws came out, and then disaster movies became passé, and movies about giant fish creatures eating people, or giant bears, or giant creatures eating people became cool there for a couple of years, a year or two. But that Tidal Wave movie was a Japanese movie that they brought over and slapped the name Tidal Wave on it, and they filmed a few scenes with Lauren Green to make fool people into going to see it, so they didn't really realize it was a Japanese movie. Anyway, I went to see it at a theater called, what was it, in downtown San Antonio. Man, it was called the, it was like a really super deluxe movie palace. And my mother was born in the 1920s, and then in the 1930s, as a little girl, she went to that theater. And then years later, she goes with me and my dad to see that movie Tidal Wave, and she was so crestfallen, I remember, because they had divided the theater up and turned it into like 4 screens, or maybe they just actually turned the balcony. The balcony was huge, bigger than any modern theater. I mean, I think they divided the balcony into 2 separate theaters. Just closed it off so you couldn't see down below and put a screen there. And then I think they had 2. The balcony was turned into 2 theaters that were bigger than any modern theater. But my mom just remembered how beautiful it was, and was so. And I remember walking to the theater, and we saw down into the main theater, and I think they had a Bruce Lee movie playing, and I remember that. But shit, I know there was a theater. I don't think it was there was another. I know there was a theater in downtown San Antonio called the Aztec. It might have been the Aztec Theater. But there was one theater my mom used to tell me about where, you know, the walls look like a fake, like an environment, like you're outdoors and you're seeing buildings. And then you look up at the ceiling of the theater and there's twinkling stars and clouds that move across, and the moon or something moves gradually and the stars twinkle, so to create the illusion you're outdoors. That's how they used to make movie theaters in the 20s, 100 years ago, when things were better in a lot of ways. Well, the Pancake Man. Best wishes, the Pancake Man. The next time there's an epidemic, don't trust Dr. F, the keeper cookie elf. I think we should go to the Pancake Man, and he'll tell us how to handle it. If I was president, we'd have the Pancake Man heading up our National Institute of Health. Because he just looks like someone that's healthy to me.
She's hiding.
Okay. The Mummy and the Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is just something I printed off of Instagram. I had to take a screenshot because I don't know how to save pictures off Instagram. Instagram's annoying in that you can't do that. You have to take a screenshot. And so it's got like, I'd have to trim that if I framed it. Which I think I did. Did I frame this? I don't know. Well, I've got 2 of them, so I could send one of these as an A-OK to a fellow Aurora model kit lover. Blah. I hope that this doesn't annoy you guys when I just show you pictures instead of comics, because I need to use the microphone because sometimes you can't hear my voice very well. This might be a good way. That's how I wish I had like head masks like that to wear to the supermarket, instead of those stupid little cloth masks that Dr. Fauci admitted originally that they did nothing, but they were just done to pacify us, to make us think that there was some hope. I was telling my wife I'd like to just wear a Spider-Man mask into the supermarket. And then she said, well, that they might actually think you're there to rob it if you did that. But, we at least, the one thing that comes out of this whole last year and a few months that we had to endure is you're never again in your life going to be able to go into a bank wearing a mask again without having guns pulled on you, but you were able to do it there for a year. You could go into a bank lobby with a mask on like you were Jesse James, and no one batted an eyelash. So that's something that you can tell your grandchildren and they'll yawn and not care. Here's a grand opening of some store that I've never heard of called Big N. The toy store I remember was called Kitty City. I don't remember Toys R Us didn't exist in my world until I was like in high school. But when I was a kid and toys mattered, the place in San Antonio was called Kitty City, and then of course there were the 5 and dime places like TG&Y, and I remember other places. One was called Wins, WINNS. There was Kmart, all that, but yeah, they're redoing the Planet of the Apes Mego figures, and they look like they're gonna look just pretty much exactly like that. The treehouse I had or have, but it's in pieces. I mean, I just like the pieces are everywhere. In fact, there's a piece here. I just got to get them all back together. Where did it go? It was just right here. Here it is. See, this piece is part of the play of that. This goes, where does this go on there? I think it's maybe that front part. Anyway, it's really not like anything that was ever in Planet of the Apes. It was actually made for, I think, Action Jackson. They just retooled it to be Planet of the Apes. I guess in Battle for the Planet of the Apes, the movie that nobody really is that fond of, I think they had tree houses, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. The Frankenstein belt. Here's your monster mark of distinction. You'll wear with pride. It makes me so happy, I can't even tell you. A fabulous sculptured metal Frankenstein head, mounted on a 1-inch case hardened steel buckle with silver mirror finish. Comes complete with a 1-inch wide top quality black adjustable elastic belt. Please give size of your waist with your order. Only $2.25 plus 25 cents postage and handling from the Captain Company in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Can you even imagine? That was a lot of money, $2.25. A comic book cost 12 cents. You've got to understand inflation. Well, you'll understand it, those of you that are younger, which I don't think there is any young people that watch this channel. But if there was, in theory, if at some point someone under the age of 35 stumbles upon the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel, very unlikely, you're going to experience inflation. You're just getting the beginning of it now. Those of us old-timers lived through watching comics go from 15 cents to like $1.25 in the span of 10 years. God damn, a Frankenstein belt. Is there anything better in life? Excuse my language. Here's at the Tennessee Theater. In person, the weird and mysterious man, Dr. Cardini and his company, presents the weird and uncanny floating table, Zinda and the reptile dance of death, the bloodless man in person, the Frankenstein monster. It is true that Frankenstein, this is part of what's forgotten, and the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel never forgets. Before the Beatles hit the U.S., Frankenstein was huge. Elvis had gone off to the army, came back, not the same guy, making movies, not the same quality of music. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't what he was doing before. Things were getting a little tamer, still great music out there, but Frankenstein was huge. So much that, you know, Monster Mash was a huge hit. When I was a kid, they brought the record back, started playing it on the radio about 1973. It went to #1 again. Like, you know, almost a little more than 10 years after it was a hit the first time, it comes back. This is the way the world should be. And the fact that, and maybe it will be again. Because it's always a chance that Trump will be back in office. So when that happens, monsters will be dancing with beautiful women once again, and all will be right with the world. But have you gotten your family radiation survival set? Measures radiation fallout, tells you when it's safe to leave the shelter. And then you go, damn, that's expensive. $40 for walkie-talkie. I mean, you just got to understand, that was $39.95 was like several $100s at that time that ad was printed. This is not the set that my brother got. This 150 Civil War soldiers, because this says it has 3 monitor ships. 6 hospital wagons, 3 Merrimack ships. You know, the one that my brother ordered right around 1971 or so had exploding bridges, and that's not mentioned in the list of what you get in it. So I think it's a different set he ordered. I probably still have some of the soldiers around, but it had a little plastic. I told you this before. How are the Quiet Place movies? I can't even imagine all the noise and chaos that's here in the Grottu-a-Go-Go building if I had to remain completely quiet, where some weird space creature would eat my head. Anyway, I think I asked you in yesterday's episode. No one replied. Here's Klaus Schwartz. I'm sorry, Ernst Stavro Blofeld. He's thinking about the Great Reset and how they can cull the herd and get rid of most of the population of the planet Earth. But of course, that's all fictional James Bond stuff, right? Outside of you, Mickey, that milk is the best thing in the world. And then Mickey replies, inside of you, Minnie, my milk is the best thing in the world. I assume that this is that someone didn't alter what they're saying, and that people just didn't have dirty minds in the 1930s. But, I don't know. There's an Archie Comics ad where they saying something about wieners in your mouth or something, and I think that was altered. I think that one is not real. But that one I think might actually be real. Here's an ad from a pulp. I just think that's the way the world should be. Can you imagine? That's probably the way heaven is. Just imagine, it's just great. Cro-Magnons, The Bird Girls, and Adventures of Tomorrow, all in fantastic adventures. On sale at all newsstands, May 18th. Reserve your copy today. Weird were the circumstances under which 3 such different tribes met when the petite and lovely Linda Carstairs first visited the time travel agency. McGregor threatened to resign. He thought his boss, Barry Rudd, had lost his love of adventure. But it wasn't a trip just a few years back that Linda sought. She wanted to go back 34,000 years in time to find her father, who had mysteriously disappeared. Intrigue, death, and romance awaited the Safari to the Lost Ages, one of the 10 great stories you'll want to read in the thrill-packed July issue. So I guess in a few days they'll have the Loki TV series, and I think he's visits some time travel agency or something or other. Looks like that's the plot. Next movie completely free.
In your nightmare, in the peak, in your favorite horror movies.
Yeah. This is just everyday reality here in the Grottu world. Betty Boop, America's Little Sweetheart, is a big money maker for live manufacturers and retailers. So, Max Fleischer was the greatest. Oh, this is a picture. I actually have this one framed down in the kitchen. Oh, I've got more than one copy of it. Oh, I've got multiple ones. I guess I'll put some over here to send out to members of the Grottu Army. I'm positive I just sent one of these to Captain Strangelife in the package. He's a big fan of the old milk bottles when they were actually bottles, not paper cardboard cartons. So he gets milk and puts them into bottles from the 50s or 60s, and I think that's amazing. An amazing way to make sure that you're resisting the changes that time forces on us. And that's like the people that still use tube stereos instead of the modern transistorized ones. They still want that warm sound of the tubes. Another example of resisting change. People that continued to listen to records when CDs were invented. This is cool. Looks like they're from that planet that Frank Gorshin was from in Star Trek. Have any of you ever seen this in reality? Like, did any of these survive a bedspread that looks like the Batmobile? I wonder if it was $14 damn. That's expensive. So first of all, a lot of kids probably didn't get it because it was so expensive. But, you know, would they have survived or being washed and washed? I wonder if there's one somewhere. If any of you ever heard of this or seen it on eBay, because that would be so cool. Someone should just remake it. What's wrong with people? There's a car show tomorrow night near here, and it's like, why don't the car companies just, they see how much people crave these old cars, why don't they just remake the old cars? But then I'm sure there's government restrictions that those cars are unsafe or this or that, or so they can't. But occasionally they'll try to kind of make it look kind of like the old car, like they did with the couple of years ago. They made a muscle car that looked like, what was that? I don't know. And about 10, 15 years ago, they tried to make it kind of look like an old Thunderbird. Okay. Now, this is the way. Imagine if cell phones look like this. Well, we're gonna FaceTime. That's cool.
Four American nurses snatched from their work in a foreign hospital.
Now, if I had a color printer, if I printed this in color, and I could use this as a label in front on a bubblegum machine, and you could put it on in the gubble bum, bubble gum. Joe Biden is a gubble bum, but this is bubble gum. Gubble bum, that's pretty good. Yeah, anyway, 1 cent. Roland was Zacherley's first name, the host of WCAU TV Shock Theater. Yeah, that's cool. So he's top billed with Frankie Avalon. Frankenstein and Igor is the same building as the Monotones that did Book of Love. Frankenstein's billed above Bobby Darin. Oh man. I knew a Bill Massey in junior high, but I don't think it's the same guy. Oh boy. I've got a bunch of copies of this one. I'll give one away. I can't wait to do another live stream. I'm going to try to download StreamYard. I still haven't done it. But my wife said she'd like to join a live stream sometimes. Forgetting where I'm putting things. I have more of this. I want you to help me destroy all monsters. You know, the ones currently running this country. Oh, that would really trigger people, wouldn't it? I don't want to trigger anyone. Become a vampire. Order your exclusive do-it-yourself vampire kit and join the ranks of the undead. Only $1. Only $1. Jet rocket spaceship. Where's my bubble up? Ah, yes. Bubble up. Bubble up cures muscular dystrophy. It contains hydroxychloroquine, so it's good stuff. And it is a good source of vitamin Z. Monster mailman. And I wish my mailman looked like that. Mad buttons. Phony. Looks like a genuine hypo, but it's fake. The needle disappears as though it's penetrating the skin, comes complete with its own blood. Unlimited fun possibilities, only $1.50. Yeah, the Mr. Bones Bank, that thing's around forever. What is that middle one? Heartthrob. Oh, the Spook Hand. I used to have one of those. I wonder what happened to it. This is one of the greatest ads ever. I have this framed in the other room. I think this ad would appear in like ACG Comics. They had better ads than any other company. I mean, look at that. Can you imagine putting on those glasses and really seeing people look like that? Look at the monsters you can get. 7 big monsters from outer space for $1. From 1.5 feet to over 4 feet tall. Oh, these are good names for Grottu Army people. Luwadcam. Etowak. Oh, these are like... Etowak is Colette backwards. Oh, Luwadcam is McDowell backwards. What's this guy? He's Reberg. Gerber. Oh, that's Gerber backwards. And this guy here, he's Nosaros. Sorensen. Look at this guy in the middle. His name is Senkus. Backwards is Suck Nix. I don't think that's. And the big guy here, he's Balucor. Backwards, that's Rakulab. I don't know, but maybe those would be good names for Grottu Army members. So you could be Italok Orloff. Yeah. And you order this from Boston, Massachusetts, Hubbard House. We got to look this up on Google Earth. 176 Federal Street, Boston, Massachusetts. 176 Federal Street. Because if that building's still there, if they still have some of these monsters in the back room, we need to knock on their door and say, excuse me, but shit, do you still have any Balucors, 4.5 feet tall, big monster from outer space back there? Okay, I gotta look that up. I looked up where the Captain Company was once in Pennsylvania, and that building's still there. That had all the cool stuff you ordered from the back of Famous Monsters. Remember to drink Bubble Up. Doesn't get much better than Flash Gordon. Mental demons. Are they holding you back? I mean, this guy got a lot of mental demons. Lack of willpower, poor vocabulary, rasping voice, hazy ideas, worry and fear, stage fright, poor memory, timidness, ineffective speech, weak personality, lack of concentration, and self-consciousness. This would be a good face mask too. Would the Keebler Cookie Elf approve of this one? Even after a year from now, after all this is over, God willing, there's still gonna be the odd person that just continues to wear. There's going to be people wearing them next 10, 15 years. There's going to be people that never stop. It's just, some people have gotten so just terrified by it all. ¿Puedo ir al baño, por favor? ¿Puedo ir a beber agua, por favor? ¿Puedo ir al tomar agua? What else we got? Oh, look, Elvis meets Frankenstein at the Parkway Theater. Okay, so, wow. So, admission 15 cents and 40 cents. So 40 cents must be adult, 15 must be kids, I guess. So what you can see Elvis in Jailhouse Rock and Frankie in Curse of Frankenstein. Will Frankie's shock make Elvis rock? Will Elvis's shake make Frankie quake? Find out for yourself. Elvis meets Frankenstein. See, what I should do is have a double feature here and show Jailhouse Rock and Curse of Frankenstein and use this as a flyer. If I had many friends here locally, I could do that, which is why I'm wanting to move more seats in here, but I am hoping we're going to move somewhere, but we just don't know where yet. We keep finding these amazing places. We found places all over the country, and I meet more and more people on YouTube that are all over the place. And maybe if I can find a good location where maybe everyone could kind of and if I could get a giant place, then maybe people could come and stay in guest rooms, and we could have some big weekend party. Man, there was I keep telling you, in this town called Rural Retreat, Virginia, there was a hotel with 15 rooms, 3 stories tall, with an attic that could easily be turned into another story. And it was built in 1850s. It was there during the Civil War, when the railroad depot, half a block from it, was burned by the Union soldiers. It started as a church, then became a school for girls, then became a hotel, and there are pictures from back then with all the people in front of the hotel, and then some, I guess, little old lady that had the family that ran the hotel. She lived there for a good 20 years just by herself, basically on the first floor, and then she passed away, and this place has been empty for a lot of years, and they were selling it, and it was just like barely over $100,000 for like 5,000 or 6,000 square feet. I wanted that so bad, and I had a local contractor go look at it, and there was so much damage caused by it. It had a metal roof, but there was a leak where I guess the metal sheets came to, I don't know, and a lot of damage. It would have cost a lot, and the wiring was bad. So if that had turned out to be okay, it just would have been it could have been a hub for the comics community and stuff. We don't know where we're going to wind up. I'd like to go to Virginia or West Virginia, but I know in Virginia the governor's bad, and then Kentucky looks good, and but you find an amazing house, and then you look up the crime in that community, and sometimes it's unbelievably bad. But that little town, Rural Retreat, Virginia, has no crime, none. It's just like Mayberry, and they have one policeman, and there's no crime. And I asked that contractor guy, he says, well, this and that, we did have a car stolen about 1.5 years ago, but the kid brought it back. He just was out joyriding. So it's like Mayberry. It's where the police, did you ever see Andy Griffith ever really have to pull a gun or anything really dangerous? They just kind of sat around and talked, it seemed like, or dealt with the town drunk who was friendly. Oh, this is what that rocket ship really looked like. It was cardboard. I wonder if any survived to today. Here's a good picture. In the 1950s comics, they called that headlights. I'll put one over here for the perverted members of the Grottu Army. Now this looks a lot like Mary Tyler Moore to me, but I don't think it is. That's what I call cosplay. Someone needs to make a model kit of that image.
You'll love with them.
Here's Morticia Adams as a beatnik. Oh, damn, I need to make a copy of this for Graphic Man, who's a big Gold Key fan. Get fun, adventure, the Jetsons, Tarzan of the Apes, Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom, Uncle Scrooge, the Man from Uncle Bugs Bunny. Get Gold Key Comics. You slap this in a frame from the dollar store, and you got an amazing decoration. On sale now, plus your other favorites. Published by KK Publications Incorporated, subsidiary of Western Publishing Company Incorporated. Wow. Look at this. Remember in TV Guide they used to have the close-up of important things? This is the debut episode of Batman. Debut, color. And, oh, and it starts with this. Criminals are a superstitious, cowardly lot, so my disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts. I must be a creature of the night. Of course, Adam West never said that in the series, but that was from the comic. And there was, you know, when they did that Batman Begins, with American Psycho playing him, there was a scene where Bruce Wayne was on an airplane, and he kind of said, it was like really great because it was like comic book dialogue. I remember he just says, I must strike, and he just kind of said it just like, wow, this is like I'm really hearing a comic, but it's a comic book origin story, and they're talking like they do in the comics, except it's all so realistic. I like that movie. Anyway, with these words, millionaire Bruce Wayne launched his vengeful battle against crime in a 1939 issue of Detective Comics. When crime strikes, Wayne and his young ward, Dick Grayson, don the guises of Batman and Robin, the boy wonder, to fight the forces of evil. Aiding the dynamic duo are the dreaded glowing bat signal, the nuclear-powered Batmobile, and the Batcave, the greatest anti-crime laboratory in the world. Tonight, Batman and Robin head for Gotham City to renew their battle against the Riddler, who is once again baffling the police with his criminal wizardry. To be continued Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Tonight's show is written by Lorenzo Simple Jr. The series, based on the adventures of Bob Kane's comic book hero, stars Adam West as Batman and Burt Ward as Robin. Oh, that reminds me, I need to get food for my dog. She loves Burt Ward's food, which is Burt Ward and his wife live with like 20 or 30 dogs, and they have a line of dog food called Gentle Giants, and it's really healthy food. And supposedly, according to Burt Ward, they have a dog or two that have lived to be like 25 years old eating this stuff. And when our dog eats it, she turns into this dynamo. She just twirls around and just like almost takes off into the air. And it makes her, you know, when she's got little hot spots where she's losing hair in little spots, that grows back, and she just gets all healthier and a little too exuberant, you know, where she's like beating us up and stuff. So Burt Ward has good dog food, and it's at Target. And now I think they have cat food. So I'm going to go to Target today, bubble up. And I didn't. Instead, I sent those packages off to Graphic Man and Captain Strangelove. And I figured, well, I can go to Target tomorrow with my wife, because she's getting really depressed that she never gets out. She's on this weird schedule where I'm waking up and she's falling asleep. So she's still sleeping now, and it's all weird. Anyway, then she'll wake up, and I'm ready to go to bed, and then she'll say, well, can't we go do something? I want to... So I need to take her to Target at least, because it's such an exciting place. Have you guys seen the Justice Society of America animated movie, the World War II one? Because I haven't, and that I just thought Target might have it, and I hear that it has a 10 or 15 minute long Commandy, Jack Kirby looking animated short, and I want to get that Blu-ray. So I just wonder if anyone's seen it and could put a review down below. I haven't seen any reviews on YouTube, but people are probably too busy speculating about what comic is going to be hot next and what they're going to have slabbed. I should do an EC Comics story where at the end the comic book characters come to life and put the comic book collector into a slab, you know, and it's like, you did that to us, you encased us forever in plastic, now we'll do the same to you. And he's going, choke, gasp, no, as he's sealed forever. And then they put condition 8.0, age spots on face, skin off-white. What could they do to describe the condition of the person they're slabbing? Spine ticks. Because the comics have little spine ticks, you know, they could say, because spine problems, yeah. Yeah. Water damage. I've got ideas, man. I'm like Al Feldstein and Gaines coming up with sick plots to what the hell am I doing? Oh. I think Basil Gogos painted this movie poster, which I should own, but I don't. I've got to frame the green slime poster. I've got the one sheet to green slime. I showed you posters the other week, but I forgot I've got the posters I have that are rolled, that are flat, that aren't folded. I have them under a pinball machine down in the pinball room, and I've never shown those to you, and I need to do that sometime. There's so many things I need to get framed. Okay. These are, I guess, chia pets, basically. Grow 7 monsters. Thrills and chills await you when you see 7 amazing plant creatures come to life. This is the kind of ad that also appeared in ACG Comics. That's like Adventures in the Unknown and Herbie. Those comics had ads like this. Phenomenal ads. 7 giant monsters in full glowing color grow fantastic plant hair alive before your eyes. Each grows up to several months. Makes an incredible live science project for home or school. Fun to watch. Order now and get deluxe accessory kit with planting wand, observation lens, extra large supply of guaranteed live monster hair seeds. Complete with 7 monsters and full instructions. So they sell it as monsters. They also sold beetle heads with the same stuff, so you could grow, the beetles could grow hair, you know, and then the top of the beetles' heads, I guess, were open, and you could grow plant hair out of their heads. This is from L-Bar Distributors, Box 47, Northridge, California. Well, they don't have an address, they just have a P.O. box, so there's no fun in looking up to see where they were located. Gentlemen, I enclose $1 plus 25 cents for postage and handling. Please rush all 7 real living plant monsters and the deluxe accessory kit to me at once. And then you put your name, address, city, and state. You didn't need a zip code back then.
uncover the conspiracy.
Just between us, I don't know what the silly contraption is either. Keep smiling, Reed. Now, I think it must have been on the live stream the other night. We were talking about Stan Lee versus Jack Kirby. And Jack Kirby is the genius that created this pinup, right? Now, I think Stan Lee is clearly, Stan Lee's voice is here. And that is funny. I don't think Jack Kirby, I don't know this for sure, I don't think Jack Kirby would have had Reed saying, I don't know what this thing is either. Jack Kirby couldn't have done it without Stan Lee, and Stan Lee definitely couldn't have done it without Kirby. Kirby did the lion's share of the work. He came up with the stories, the scenarios, the characters, but he needed Stan Lee's dialogue and his way of putting things, because Kirby, when he wrote on his own, it just, even when you're reading it as a 10-year-old, it sounded stilted. It didn't sound like real people talking. It was corny. Jack Kirby just had the ideas, but he needed Stan Lee's writing ability. Alone, they could never do it like they could together. And I made the comparison because I don't know if everyone watches these live streams. They should. It's over on Graphic Man's channel. You need to go to Graphic Man's channel and subscribe and watch the live stream, because it actually came out pretty good. Pretty great, in fact. I can't wait to do another one. The Beatles. John Lennon and Paul McCartney never had the success on the level that they had with the Beatles when they were on their own. Because if Paul McCartney was on his own, he would have written, "It's getting better all the time, it's getting better all the time, things are just so great, it would have just stayed like that. But John Lennon may just added a few lines to that song that was mostly McCartney's, and so Paul McCartney's saying it's getting better all the time, and then it couldn't get much worse, can't get, that's the John Lennon counterpoint, the cynicism next to the crazy happiness of Paul McCartney. And then you've got It Works. So you got like Paul McCartney on his own with like silly love songs. I bet if John Lennon had been in the studio, he would have added a little bit of cynicism to that would have made the song go to the next level. Although it was a hit and everything. But it's like no one ever created a song on par with the Beatles, on par that as what they did when they were in their 20s on their own. So it's just, sometimes you need two people together and it works. Not very often. Usually people are better on their own, but sometimes you need a merging of minds. Here's another Dracula thing. I got a lot more papers I need to go through. So over here, some of this is going to be garbage. So I'm going to get a box to put garbage in. So now we're actually, what I did just now was just sorting. But now I need to actually, get to the point where I'm clearing up things and start going through things that could be just garbage. Oh wow, that is really cool. That's like a, ooh, this is neat. It's like a, yeah, man. Wow. It would be a lot better if there was a girl in a bikini with all these lights reflecting on them than it would be like the beginning of a James Bond movie or something. But oh, I need to go through this pile here. Let's see what this shit is. Alright, so we're actually going to get something done here on Grottu Friday night after dark, Grottu-a-Go-Go. So when you're working in your comic book room, it's good to have music playing or talk radio. Plug you back in so you don't. So I got this whole tub of shit. Some of it may not be shit. Okay, I guess I'll save that. Here's a picture of Vampira. So that will be saved. Oh, I need. No, I'll just put it here. This is actually from Life magazine. Vampira out in Los Angeles, scaring or just talking to fans. This was done by a student. Sometimes students would write poetry and draw little cartoons, and I like to save this stuff. I need folders. I've got some folders on the stairs. I'm gonna put a folder for student art and a folder for, you know, like different kinds of things. Then I can put it in a filing cabinet. And then I won't have these giant plastic tubs of papers. Because eventually some cat will come along and piss on all of it if I don't do it the right way. Okay, hold on. What do I need to do here? Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Let me set you down for a second because I've got to run to the restroom. I just forgot I was recording downstairs, and I probably it's probably stopped now. Shit. Yeah, damn it. Whoa. Annoying. See it. It says. Boy. just keep forgetting. Time passes so quickly. Oh, looks like I only have about 10 minutes of blank space on the disc, so it's not the end of the world, I guess. Yeah. Alright, so just record right off YouTube and you can have lots of fun. Like my banner. It's been there for over 10 years. I gotta get the cats more treats. They're running awful low. Here's a cardboard box I can put the trash in. Damn it. I forgot to get the folders, man. Scheiße. Duncanville Bookstore just went live with an auction. It says at the top, you need to subscribe to Duncanville Bookstore on Facebook. They have auctions live on Facebook. They have really good comics, and then they'll send it to you in the mail. But I just got a little notification on the top of my phone. Okay, got this cardboard box I'm gonna put trash in. Chocka chip. Chocka chip. That should be our new slogan. Like when members of the Grottu army meet each other, we should say chocka chip. Maybe Joe Biden was thinking of Chaka from Land of the Lost. He was eating turds from the anus of Chaka. Mr. President, what kind of ice cream are you eating? We have to know. Our readers demanded. Chocka chip. What a moron. Joe Biden, indeed. No offense to stupid people out there. Because there's a lot of really nice, stupid people. And I don't mean to offend them, because being stupid doesn't mean you're evil. But when you're stupid and evil, then there's just no respect to be had for you. Alright. Plug you in, guys. You gotta be plugged in to the Matrix. Okay. So, I'm gonna have a folder for student art. That's not a folder. What the fuck? Oh, here's the folder. That was a backing board for a comic. Okay, this folder will be where I put student art. So that's where this art will go. Here's some more student art. That's not that good, but I'm gonna save it anyway, because when someone drew art for me, I thought it was, you know, it's a cool thing. Oh boy. This is artwork that my mom drew. When my mom was on the telephone, she would doodle. And, you know, I asked her what comics, did she read comics when she was a little girl? She was born in the late 20s. She remembered Tilly the Toiler. And I don't know what comics she read, but she always drew the same female face. And it just always was drawing it. So I'm going to save this because my mom passed away in 2001. I'm going to make a folder for my mom's art. See, it looks kind of like the I Love Lucy face. See that? So I need to create a folder for that. It's getting hot up here, man. This is weird. There's a full face. I don't remember that much. It's kind of Betty Boop-like, but she's always drawing these faces. She's a little horse. That's unusual. There's a more complete face with the bow and the hair. It's just like right out of the 40s. Whatever. There's more of my mom's art. Maybe you recognize the art style that she's copying. I don't know. There's a more complete one. Just squiggles. Chocolate chip, chocolate chip. Here's a band flyer. I saved this band flyer. I never saw the show, but I just thought it was cool. The Caffeines, Club Clearview in Dallas. So I need another folder for band flyers. So that's what I'll do here. The Caffeines. If you know that band, or if you remember that band, you can let me know down below. This is some flyer from long ago. I have no idea why I saved it. Although, let's see. I think I saved it because I thought this woman's hairstyle was kind of cool. I know that sounds a little, I don't know, but I don't know how old this thing is. Gotta be at least 20 years old. What is this over here? Here's some drawings I did back in the 90s, early 90s, when I was doing that magazine, The Sophisticate. That's a drawing I did of Batgirl. Boy, her arm sure is, she's got like a Tyrannosaurus Rex arm, not very long. And then I got a Devil Girl with an 8-ball tattoo. Yeah, she's a little cross-eyed. So, not, I don't know. I've seen published comics with worse art, man. Still better than Tony Tallarico. Give me a break. Before you insult me down below. What is this? Oh, here's a little flyer from Sinister Cinema. They were kind of like Something Weird, just not quite as good. They would, they would sell you VHS movies that were hard to find. Some of them were in public domain. Some they were just probably hoping they were in public domain. Oh, here's Leslie Gore. Leslie Gore was an amazing singer. You know her from It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want To. She should have been Poison. Originally, she was going to be Poison Ivy on the '66 Batman show. And the script was written that she was Poison Ivy and she was teamed up with a Catwoman. And then at the last minute, they decided to make her Catwoman's like protege, and so she became like Pussycat. But originally, she was going to be Poison Ivy. A little trivia for you. Here's the Video Station Complete Video Cassette Movie Guide. Video Station was a video store near me, and this is from the mid-'80s, and these are all the movies on VHS then that you could get, like the Fleischer Superman. And that was the first time I ever saw the Fleischer Superman. No, it isn't. I take that back. They used to tour the. They didn't use. Growing up in the '70s, they didn't show the Fleischer Superman cartoons on television. For the most part, most people had to wait until they came out on video cassette in the early '80s. But I did once. You know, they used to take films around to comic conventions and show the Star Trek bloopers and old movie serials and things in little rooms. People would project them on 16mm. But one time, they did that at the local college, and I was probably in 6th, maybe 7th grade, and I saw that they were going to be showing some cool comic-type films. And the same stuff you would see at a convention, but they were going to play it at the college, the university that I later went to. So my mom or dad I think my dad took me, and I sat in some little room. It was probably a classroom, and we watched, and I remember I saw one of the Fleischer Superman cartoons there, and it was amazing. Here's an issue of Pulse. It's some punk rock or alternative magazine. I'm not sure what's in this. It was a free magazine they gave away at like record stores. So I don't know. I'll put that there.
From the terrace of his palatial
This is
the invincible Iron Man watches the approach of the
this is from MySpace. When it says that I was 40 years old, so this is 16 years ago.
Tony Stark.
Mr. Stark calls Iron Man his bodyguard, but first he gives him power over the boss.
Maybe blackmail.
Okay.
We've got to find out.
This is April 19th, 2005. and I posted it on April 9th. Yeah. So it says,
bodyguard, and I trust him implicitly. Now stop worrying. Now, I don't mean to be rude, but I have some important work to do.
Where he rushed us out, I'm positive something's wrong.
I know what you mean.
okay, hold on. This being's just,
And as Happy Hogan's car speeds away, Tony Stark returns to his role as Iron Man. Unaware that he is the target for a strange satellite now reaching
okay.
Earth. Tracking stations around the world try to trace its origin. He is not one of ours. He must be a spy. Meanwhile, deep in a mountain stronghold in the heart of the Orient, we find the one...
This old friend of mine, I guess, was giving me trouble on MySpace for being a neoconservative or something. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what the... it says page 3 of 3. Maybe I can find the other pages and read the whole sequence of... Yeah, maybe this... Okay. Okay, yeah, okay, hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'll find it yet. Yeah, this old friend of mine was giving me trouble, I think he comes on sometimes to this channel and gives me a thumbs down sometimes, and then because no one else would ever give me a thumbs down. Jesus. Okay, I found page 2. This is page 3. Because, you know, if you don't print stuff, then it's just lost forever. I mean, everything that was ever done on MySpace, I imagine, is just gone. But where's the damn first page? Yeah, it's important to...
Maybe our suspicions about a new right I've got to learn where that ray came from by computing the way...
Bunch of Big Daddy Roth stuff. I'll show it to you in a second. I'm on a mission now. I want to find out what...
I felt it in my bones. Now I'm certain it's a medicine. And even as that fearsome name crosses Iron Man's mind... Oh, let your Iron Man realize I am the...
Are you kidding me? Oh, this is Wanted, Dead or Alive, Bonnie and Clyde. Wanted for robbery, murder, and other acts against the peace and dignity of the U.S. This I got from some novelty store. And it was meant to look old, but now it's like really old, and I gotta get that in a frame or something before it completely falls apart.
And at police headquarters...
No trace of Tony Stark after the explosion, and now Iron Man has disappeared.
We think there's something fishy going on. Now, hold on, Richard. We're working on the case, but we have no proof that Iron Man has anything to do with Mr. Stark's death.
If it's truth you need, maybe we can follow it. Come on, Captain.
And at that very moment,
Some Godzilla stuff.
is below.
This came from a Japanese magazine. So like, see this? Damn, this would look really cool, like above a door. I mean, it's phenomenal. Okay, I'm not finding page 1. So let's see what this exchange... I'll just start here. Okay. Alright, so, I guess my friend was saying that I must support George W. Bush. Okay. And so this was a friend of mine from back in the days when I put out the Sophisticate magazine. The Sophisticate made fun of hippies, it made fun of liberals, but it also made fun of conservatives and Republicans. It made fun of everyone. But it's in the middle of his comment. He's saying something about the guy that made the Sophisticate a red state club for staunch MySpace neoconservatives. What gives and why? If the moderator so admires W, won't he explain his admiration or indulge in a little debate? Ah, but censorship is so much more in keeping with George W.'s America. If you can't debate him, delete him. Oh, I think he put a comment like, it must have been who's the most loathsome person in the world, and he must have put George W. Bush, and I just deleted it because I didn't want to get into the political stuff. And then he came back like, why are you deleting me? The guy that made the Sophisticate? You become some neoconservative and you just delete a comment rather than debate? Which is, of course, what they do now. And, of course, when Alex Jones was kicked off of every platform, he was debating my wife on Facebook, which is the successor, to MySpace. That's okay. They're a private company. It's okay to... Well, I can delete his comment off of my MySpace page if I want to. But anyway, he says, things have changed at the Sophisticate. There are sacred cows now, it seems, and to challenge or insult them will get you deleted. W is an official Sophisticate. Mock him and incur the official wrath. Is it just me, or is this exceedingly odd behavior from an editor who cut his chops on National Lampoon? Answer quickly. Making light of W will likely get you and me censored. So he is upset because I deleted that he was hated some comment against George Bush. And this is great. I don't remember who this girl is. She's someone that goes by the name Little Dame. And she replies, why don't you go smoke a joint, you hippie? And then someone below named Apocrypha Mama says, Little Dame wrote, why don't you go smoke a joint, you hippie? Is that a joke or just immaturity? And then I replied, hey, I just deleted the response due to language. Something about a dick and an asshole, I think. Oh, okay. I didn't really like that language because Grottu never really curses. You'll know that after watching my show. And so he says, I just deleted the response due to the language. Something about a dick and an asshole, I think. I'm not a huge Bush supporter, although God help us if that war hero that was running against him had been elected. Oh, yeah, of course Bush was better than that guy that was running against him. I can't even remember. Well, he's now back in the government because Biden put him there. What's his face? The guy that started the whole thing about the soldiers being baby killers. What was his freaking name? He ran for president. I remember my dad was alive then and hated the guy because he had a Purple Heart and he gotten a scratch, and my father had been more injured in the Vietnam War and had applied for a Purple Heart. Apparently, as long as you bleed in battle, you can get a Purple Heart. But anyway, this what was that guy's name? John Kerry, I think that's his name, right? It looks like Herman Munster. He's the guy that came back from the Vietnam War and said the soldiers were like the soldiers of Genghis Khan. And he was the one that said that, they were baby killers and all that, and then that got spread around by the hippies. And anyway, that idiot. So anyway, I really disagree with Bush's open border policy. In fact, go to oakrish.com and watch a few people's heads being slowly sawed off, and then see how much sympathy you have for these scum. I say more torture for these imbeciles. In fact, Bush should exterminate 1/3 of the population of the earth. Ha 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 ha! Kill everyone. This is what? And then, like a few minutes later, I said, This is all in reference to thread about who the most loathsome human being is on the planet. When I was congratulating Little Dame for was her ladylike composure that she kept while it was being suggested that a crowbar was in her colon or something like that. Kong, you know me better than to suggest that I am some neoconservative. The Sophisticate, as a print magazine, was always directing its venom at liberals, the true intolerant scum of our society. You know, the same vile trash that allow vulgar human filth to record modern music and peddle it to our children. Bush would have my true support if he rounded up all of these vermin and exterminated them all. Some guy just wrote a book about South Park conservatives. I guess that's what I'd consider myself. I hated Bush and that war hero, in quotation marks, equally. I honestly can't think of his name right now. I couldn't remember it back then either. Maybe it was something to do with turning 40 tomorrow. By the way, I will hopefully be seeing Kung Fu Hustle tomorrow to celebrate the occasion. But I digress. As you know, I am shallow and rather stupid, and I will always take the side of the pretty girl in all arguments. Kill, crush, destroy, torture, ha ha ha. Weird. Anyway, so that argument with my friend goes back to 2005, where he tries to catch me saying things against liberals on the internet, and oh well, that was that. Something else. Okay, so this is stuff that can be thrown away. What is that? Oh, this is actually pretty well written. The pungent odor rose in the room. Then I could see the source of smell come from the new kid. As soon as he came in, the gossip started. I could hear voices echo in the small room. I hear he is so ugly because he is from Mars. Yeah, I heard that too, said several voices, but the truth was that he fell in some toxic waste. Bob, sit over there, please, Miss Critic said while she pointed at the seat next to me. His face had many scars with desert-dry skin. Tentacles were all over his face, silky smooth. I could not bear the smell, so I put my hands over my nose. Everything was fine, but then Bob snapped. His tentacles reached out towards the student in front of me. Bob grabbed him and swallowed him. Okay, what this was is, you know those ugly stickers in the 60s with Basil Wolverton and Wally Wood art? Well, I found one called Bob, and it was, I think, drawn by Wally Wood, and it was this monster with tentacles and big eyes. And so I handed out pictures of monsters to students, and I had them write the story of that student's first day in a middle school. So this was a story that a student wrote about Bob's first day, and that's pretty well written. So I'm gonna save that. I can't save everything, so I'm gonna toss those. I'm saving the really good stuff. I can't save all this stuff. I mean, I've tried, but at a certain point it becomes lunacy, I guess. Stop needless noise. Help America keep calm. That's actually pretty cool. I don't need that. Oh,
Remember your little old missile?
It's a plaque.
Arrange for it to go back where it came from.
I'll never underestimate you again.
This is stuff I pulled out of the filing cabinet when I retired at work, and
And using his hit ring for a source of power. And once again, Iron Man has outwitted the evil
have not sorted through it yet, like a year later.
jet transport wings over the Pacific.
Multiplication cards. I don't think I need these because I already know the multiplication tables, but I could maybe give those to my nephew.
While outside the office,
The nephew that's 3, not the nephew that's in 4th grade. I hope he knows them by now. I would think he does. What is this? Well, this isn't going to be that interesting for us to go through, I don't think.
now whatever gave you that idea?
What is this? Look at this little drawing, teacher and student. These little drawings I do are quite strange. Now that I've recorded that for posterity, I can throw it away. Someone trying to give me a Visa card. Ridiculous.
Brilliant scientist Anthony Stark.
I learned that lesson 2 or 3 times, and hopefully you guys that are younger, that are comic collectors, don't make the mistake with credit cards. You see something you just horrible. Here's interesting drawing. It looks like that was supposed to be Bart Simpson. What does that say? Oh, I love masks. Yeah. I like it because it looks like it was drawn by a serial killer, so I'm going to save that. Either art is really great, or it's so primitive that I love it, even though it's not well drawn. So that's kind of my standards. And this one is in between being great and being primitive, and I like it. It has charm, so I'm going to save that in my student drawing folder. I don't think I need to save this blank sheet of paper. Oh, I've got a whole folder filled with notes that were taken before text messaging. You probably remember that people would write notes and then they'd pass them under the desk, sometimes folded up. Well, when whenever people took up funny notes, a lot of times they were given to me and I kept them in a special file. Someday I could probably put out a great book made up of student notes. Hey, did you know that everyone is calling you a 304? The 304, if you put it on a calculator, type the numbers 304, and you turn the calculator upside down, it spells hoe, H-O-E. So, hey, did you know that everyone's calling you a hoe? And then she replies, I don't give a fuck. I ain't even gonna be her. Dame. They spell damn. Dame. D-A-I-M. Dame, don't get mad at me. I was just telling you, no aunt get mad. No, Dame, don't get mad at me. I was just telling you, so don't get mad. See, for a while, it was real cool for the girls to turn their S's sideways. So that's so, S-O, but it looks like an N. So, am not mad. I just don't care. Cear. C-E-A-R. I just don't care. I ain't even going to come to this school. Am tired of all this fucking drama. There's tired. T-A-Y-E-R-E-D. And so that will go in the student note folder.
Not while my transistor power provides a force field which no fire bow can penetrate. I'll electrify it right into your head on. Not going ahead on your thriller show.
Crash.
One big show. Screamer number 1 gets that terrifying blood from the mummy's tomb. Screamer number 2, the blood monster. Screamer number 3, the abominable 5. Screamer number 4, the house that screams.
There's a drawing, but I'm not going to save that drawing. That has no...
First, Professor Vanko, you're going to try this earplug on for size. You can learn enough by tuning in on your own people back home.
It's a super soul show. 4 Blackbusters all in one big show. Blackbuster number 1, Black Mama, White Mama, Van Bridge. Number 2, Black Caesar, the godfather of horror. Number 3, George Stanford Brown.
Frozen Dynamo has agreed to do research for Anthony Starr.
Dracula, deadlier than Dracula.
These are little cards they give out at the comic book store to promote something or other. Launch party, Wednesday, October 16 at your participating comic shop. I don't know. I got a million of these things. I just save them. I doubt they'll ever have any value.
Can anyone survive horror attacks?
Eliminate the traitor Banco and Tony Stark. You will also have to do what that Crimson Dynamo Banco failed to do. Expose a plan.
Oh, this is Bob. Remember a minute ago I read the story about Bob's first day and his pungent odor? This is the drawing that kid... I need to put that with the story he wrote for context. This is the kind of drawings I did during meetings. It's a pin-headed gorilla with a Superman suit on. Yeah.
Meanwhile, at Tony Stark's main research plant, a successful test run has erased delays caused by Professor Vanko's late lamented sabotage attempt.
I'll go through this later. This is not a good box. It's too, well, let's try this.
Any breakthrough yet on your laser light project?
Perhaps not. Making a vital experiment.
Yeah, this is garbage. Let's,
But a laser beam can burn through anything.
crap.
He'll show the people who got his loyalty. Professor Vanko's laser gun could become a fantastic industrial tool. But he may be risking his life.
Well, I appreciate you hanging out here in the Hi-Fi record party. But I have work to do also while we have the Grottu-a-Go-Go show. So, this would be somebody's wet dream back at the beginning of the pandemic. A giant box filled with toilet paper. But now it's just going to be a repository for trash. Because trash must be gotten rid of. Yeah, sometimes you got to vote for the the least horrible person in a presidential election. And George W. Bush was horrible, but John Kerry was far more horrible. And yeah. So, but there was no real competition in the last election. Because everything horrible about Trump, everyone knew. It was reported in People magazine for the last 25 years, 30 years. You were reading everything that, every indiscretion, every wife, every girlfriend. There's nothing really to bribe him with. There's no, everyone knew everything about him. But press did a good job hiding a lot of stuff about Biden. Okay. Trash. I wonder if my friend is coming tonight. I'd better go downstairs for a second. Oh shit. And make sure that the thing is still recording. Here's a calendar from October 1950. Oh well. If my old friend's watching this, it's not that I'm an ultra conservative. I just really think liberals are scum. Still recording. What you got to do is let YouTube know that you're still watching. So I'll just press a button, press the up button to see where I'm at in this album. I'm 8 minutes into a 53-minute long album, and that will buy me another hour and about 4 minutes before it'll stop and say, "Are you still watching this?" Press yes if you want to continue. So as long as I keep monitoring and do that. But how do I find out what time it is? Hold on. My wife's tablet is dead. There's no way of telling. None of these clocks work. Look, I wanted to create the illusion that it's nighttime, and you're watching Grottu After Dark. It's actually daytime, and I need to walk my dog. First, let me pick up her poop. You don't want to see it, so I'll spare you that. She pooped on this little diaper here. So I'll take this diaper out. And then I'm going to take her on a quick walk. You can come along with me. Hold on. I wish I knew what time it was, though. Just a minute, Drew. Alright, let me put my shoes on. Wait a second, wait a second. Hold the phone. Ugh. Anyway, make sure you join the Grottu Army. I'll design a logo for it, and then we can print the Grottu Army logo and put it on all of our media accounts. And, again, you'll get a membership number and an official name, and you'll become part of the Orloff family. You'll become, and I'll come up with how you're related. You'll either be like a brother or a cousin or an aunt, like teenage gangs I don't know if you know this. Depends on whether you grew up in an inner city. I didn't, but taught in an inner city. And kids the same, you know. Say you're a 12-year-old girl. You're friends with a 12-year-old girl. And you call her your mom, or you know. It's like, how could you be her mom if you're the same age? But what happens, the reason gangs grow is that there are fractured families, broken families, and so kids human beings have this need to be part of a family, so they create families on the street, and then they create relations. It's weird. So, you know, the guy that's kind of in charge of the gang is like your father, your poppy, and then you know, they come up with all these weird relations. But we can kind of form our own little crew or gang or army in this case, and I'll let you know. I'll give you a rank too. I'll come up with how you're related to Grottu-a-Go-Go, and I'll give you a rank. You'll either be a general or corporal, and then as you create more and more YouTube videos, maybe I can have a big ceremony where you get promoted, you know, to a higher rank within the army. That's something I just came up with this right before I started filming. I thought, you know, the KISS Army, that was a cool thing back in the 70s. Still a cool thing with some people my age that I'm a member of the KISS Army, man. But we can recreate those halcyon days of the 1970s. This is making me want to listen to some KISS records. I may move to my next phase for June. I may move in for a little while to listening to KISS, and I won't stop listening to the 60s garage rock, but I'm needing to cycle some KISS in. I just don't know if I could get away with playing KISS on YouTube or not. All right, Drew, let's take a walk. See this tree? Whoa. See, this tree here was killed on February 15th, 2021 by Joe Biden. Now it's just dead, and some stuff's growing on it because that's when they froze Texas and turned off our electricity when it was like 0 degrees outside. And so that tree was snuffed out. We lost 3 bushes, shrubberies that had been there since, who knows, the 60s or 70s. Come on, Drew, let's go this way. Drew, let's keep walking. She wants to go back home. Drew, we need to get some exercise. We're both getting fat. Drew, come on, Drew. Gosh darn it. Drew, we gotta walk. The only dog in the world that doesn't want to go for a walk. Come on, Drew. Let's go walk. Drew, I'll poop with you. Come on. I'll just keep walking. Yep. Oh shit! Drew! Drew, stop! No. Drew! God damn it. Drew! Oh, she ran, the leash came off. Damn, this stupid leash. Drew, come on, let's go. That would have been horrible. Drew, let's go back inside. The damn, she pulled herself right out of her leash. Shit. guess she really didn't want to walk. Anyway, she had to run across the street, but at least I know she's going to run right back home, but she could have been hit by a car running across the street. I gotta make sure this leash is tighter. Oh, that was scary. Okay, Drew. How did you pull out that leash? No, you see yourself there in the camera, Drew? That was terrifying. I could only put a couple of fingers down in between her and the leash. She really, I guess I gotta make it tighter. But she really pulled and didn't want to walk. Shit. Horrible. Okay, well, everything's fine. We're both alive. And I don't know what time it is. So, only thing I could do is revive that. I can revive my wife's tablet by charging it upstairs and then find out what time it is. Let me hit the button just to give it another. Okay, now I know it's going to be good for an hour and 4 minutes. We're at 2 hours, 33 minutes. The memory of the phone probably won't let me go much beyond 3 hours. We're probably gonna, the show will probably end any second, actually. Okay, here's some stuff we can go through that might be more interesting. There's a picture of my wife when she was like in 6th grade or something. And there's a picture of my dad, who was in the paratrooper. And a picture of my grandfather, who was a baseball player. There's a picture of a gorilla and Ming the Merciless. Okay. Well, that was a horrible experience. I went to take the dog out for a walk. She could have gotten killed. And I forgot to bring the freaking tablet. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. I'm going to turn the air conditioner down 1 degree. Because it's hot. Someone said a Grottu video is never complete until they trip. I think it was Graphic Man. So That was one of many trips this evening. We're taking a psychedelic trip here tonight. I have no more drink. Okay. Now, to find out what time it is, because at some point my friend Gerald comes here every Friday night. I have to blow up his mattress for him. It says it's 3:47. Let's see what's going on in the world of the internet. Hey. Why is it not charging? It is charging, okay. So, yesterday's video has 171 views. Let's see what people are saying down below it. Jumbo Comics says, great show, love those old Marvel cartoons from the 60s also. Have most of them on VHS, which is useless to me now because I no longer have a VHS player. Well, if you wanted to send me the VHS cassettes, I could convert them to DVD for you and send you some DVDs with the cartoons on them. And then, of course, I would copy them for myself. That's if you don't have just the store-bought ones. If you recorded them off television, you might really have something. So anyway. Yeah, almost 4 o'clock p.m. Here's the commercial for tonight's show.
Gonna be having a big psychedelic freak out tonight on the Grottu-a-Go-Go Inspirational Network. It's gonna be great. It's Friday.
I'll give it a like from my wife's account. There's now 10 likes, 36 views of the commercial.
Tonight, before Friday night, after dark. That's right, Oscar. That trash guy.
Let's get really psychedelic here. Hey, what a great commercial we got here on the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel. Wow, who's that handsome fella there on the computer screen? I can't believe it. Wow.
It's tonight, before Friday night, after dark.
I can't wait.
That's right, Oscar.
That's right, Oscar, the mighty magical cookie elf who loves trash. This is it will be a wonderful experience here. False advertising. You were tricked, huh? And you're almost 3 hours in. Okay, wonderful. Let's see what kind of stuff I got here. Oh, look at this. I love that. We gotta spin some records tonight. They got this is a little bit of soul by the Music Explosion with Are You a Boy or a Girl by the Barbarians in the back. Oh, this is the 70s. Although I like this song. Lovin' You by Minnie Riperton. Remember that song? It's kind of a creepy song, man. Speaking of creepy, listen to this song, The Lord's Prayer by Sister Janet Mead. This was a big hit about 1974, and it's It's a nun singing, and it's the Lord's Prayer. It's a religious song, but the guitar is almost like this guitar you're hearing now. It's just like this really, it's really sinister. It wasn't meant to be, but it sounds like, I don't know, like almost like Susie and the Banshees recorded the Lord's Prayer. It's just very cool. Yeah, you know, in fact, it's like a goth song. Now that I think about it, you got to listen to it. If you don't know the song, and you would know the song if you existed on the planet Earth in 1974. Wow, where do these records even come from? Things just appear on the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel, and you don't really know where they appear from. There's a picture of me. How about that? Okay, that's trash. This must be my wife's. It's a recipe card for deconstructed samosas with chickpeas, new potatoes, and peas. So this got into my stuff by accident. Although that looks, I don't know. You know what that looks like? That ad we were looking at earlier with the, you find it. It shouldn't be hard to find it. We just saw it. Come on, Ed. Okay, we're getting close. Real close. Yeah, all you got to do is type down below, I would like to join the Grottu Army, and you're automatically inducted into the Army. Ah, here we go. See this ad? And this recipe, I mean this card, it's like separated at birth. Don't they look alike? Or is it just me? Okay, I gotta take that down to my wife. Oh, here's already a folder. I already have some folders labeled. I already started this project before and abandoned it. This is a folder marked eBay. Oh, that might be a good name for someone. eBay Orloff. If you like shop on eBay a lot, that could be your Grottu Army name. This is from when I had the Monster Gun arcade game from 1966 shipped to me. And I guess these were the pictures on eBay of what it looked like. And I've got like things printed from eBay. This is from January 28, 2000. I didn't ever get this, but I just printed it because it looked cool. It was the Munster's Rare Hypo Squirting Hypo. Man, the current bid was $760 and they still had 6 days and 10 hours to go. The first bid was $100. This is from January 26th. Well, see, the thing is, it's still on the card. Let's see, but I'm not a big-time monster collector. Tesco V. Tesco. Last name V. V-E-E. Of the punk rock band The Meat is probably a few years older than me. But he has the best collection I've ever seen of monster toys from the 60s and spaceman and rocket ship toys from the 50s. His entire basement. There's a video of his collection on YouTube. If I think about it, I'll put a link to it down below. but you could probably find it pretty easily by typing Tesco V Monsters. You've got to see this guy's collection. Someone was selling an autographed picture of Fay Ray. Boy, is that a great picture on eBay. So I guess whenever I find eBay stuff, I'll stuff it in this folder. And this one is labeled artwork. And it's here's a cover that wasn't used for the Sophisticate, the magazine I put out that my friend was referring to, where he said, the guy that put out the Sophisticate, you become a neoconservative. And I said, I always was. I always hated liberals. Look at the old Sophisticate magazines. I hate everyone equally. That's artwork from X&O or Zeno. He, a great artist, he used to go into Memphis Comics in Tennessee, and he would trade sketches he did probably while he was doodling or talking on the phone. And he'd trade sketches and get mounds of comic books for the sketches, and then Memphis Comics would sell his sketches through Toy Shop magazine or some, yeah, I think, or maybe that newspaper, comic book, whatever. So this was a cover of the Sophisticate that was printed in green. And anyway, that was a sketch I bought from Memphis Comics. There's a March 1998 calendar from Wizard magazine with Fantastic Four on the other side. Yeah, this folder's weird. What's in there? Here's Moonbeam McSwine. Al Cap was just a brilliant artist. This was John Michael McCarthy in Memphis. Yeah, he lives in Memphis. He did this illustration for my friend Joe Riley that passed away, that I helped him with his Hypnotic Eye show, but he made a copy for me. Hot Rod Bubblegum Starlet. It says to Joe, John Michael. So anyway, I think that's great. You can see the Kirby influence there, and he's a great artist. He would do comics like Cadavra and Damselvis. Here's a drawing of Sailor Moon done by one of my students. I just thought I liked it, so I saved it. This is an old friend of mine drew this picture of Catwoman. All kinds of stuff in this folder. This was being sold on eBay. This is a sketch that Vampira drew herself, like a self-portrait. It looks like the current bid at the time I printed this was $75. The minimum bid was $76. This was January 13th, 2000 that I printed that. Guess that's what that folder is. Ooh, more cool stuff. Wow, cool, cool, cool. Amazing, incredible. All right, we looked into some more cool stuff. Shit! An avalanche. These are group pictures of some of the last students I taught before I retired, so these definitely get saved because they were wonderful kids. This is the Shot Theater package that an advertisement for it. The Universal horror movies, when they were first released to television in 1957. This is saying that in San Francisco, this is how much money, or what the ratings were, and the audience share, and the number of sets in use. So Screen Gems is trying to get you to buy the package of movies for your local station so you can have the same success that K-Ron TV in San Francisco had. So I'll put that over here. And I've got 2 copies of that, so I could send one in an act of kindness care package to somebody. Look at this. Martian death ray threatens Earth. This is from 1974. So this is a re-release of the Flash Gordon serials. I wonder if they were going to release them to television or theatrically. That's cool. That definitely needs to be framed. That needs to go over here. Here, have you got your shrunken head? It says, hang one from front or rear car window, scares traffic cops away. Gives your den or rumpus room that lived-in look. It's a truly unusual gift. Incredibly real-looking imitation of Havaro shrunken head, made of skin texture rubber with long black silky hair. Or you can get the low-priced shrunken head for bargain hunting headhunters. This economy-priced shrunken head measures about 4 inches high, including hair, $1. Okay, so the deluxe shrunken head is $2.98. Dealers, are you getting your share of the growing high-performance equipment business? Demand for special auto parts is growing. Here's the easy way for you to cash in on this market. Write on your letterhead for new wholesale catalog with complete details. Imagine going into an auto parts store and they sold shrunken heads. That's the way the world used to be. Or into a Stuckey's pizza place and they would sell you a shrunken head. It's just kind of painful to look at these old ads and realize what the world used to be like. But the world can still be that way on the Grottu-a-Go-Go channel. What is this? Oh, this is an original drawing. Oh, shit. Where was that? This is my friend Grant back in 1994. I used this in The Sophisticate. It's Wonder Woman and Catwoman. I need to frame this. It's very outsider art looking, right? This is better than 95% and possibly 100% of the stuff that came out Wednesday on New Comic Book Day.
Enjoy the videos. I hope you like them. I know I do. Thanks very much.
Here's the file marked Grottu. What's in it? Oh. This is historic. I hope my camera keeps going long enough. Hopefully it'll be okay to read this. This is the birth of Grottu-a-Go-Go back on MySpace. Maybe you knew me back in the MySpace days. See, it was myspace.com/Grottu. This is Friday, April 7th, 2006. which was
You gotta find out. We want to know the truth about Iron Man.
15 years ago, right? Just a few months before my father passed away. It says I'm 94 years old. City, the bottled city of Candor. The sign-up date, it looks like I joined August 9th, 2005. So, Friday, April 7th, 2006. Hello, current mood. And there's a smiley face. Cheerful. And it says, I am the gold god, the brightness, the great world Grottu, destroyer, to bringer of the death, alive in a cave in roofing tiles, in where I am drawing up to the destruction of this world shitty pathetic. Let me explain what I would do. Grottu-a-Go-Go was a little close-up of Scuzzfink, the Big Daddy Roth Martian model kit. So that's what I've always used as my picture. In MySpace, Facebook, whatever social media, I am that creature. So what I would do, they have really good translators nowadays. You can translate to other languages, or if you're looking at a website in another language, you can have it translated, and they do it a really good job now. But in 2006, not so much. So what I would do is I would write something, a long treatise by Grottu, and then I would highlight it and I would translate it into Spanish. Then I would highlight that and translate it from Spanish to English, and translating it into another language, and then into another language, and then back into the original language would make it sound like Grottu is really a Martian and doesn't speak English that well. It makes it really awkward and weird. And so for some reason, whenever I took Dallas, the city Dallas, and translated it into Spanish and then back into English, it came out roofing tiles. So I don't know why it would do that. But anyway, let me read it to you. So that's what this is. I wrote it, translated it to Spanish, then translated the Spanish back to English, and got this. I am the gold god, the brightness, the great world Grottu, destroyer, to bringer of the death, alive in a cave in roofing tiles, in where I am drawing up to the destruction of this world shitty pathetic, this planet of the foam, the sweepings, and the degenerated immundicia subhuman. Hatred 95% of all the human beings in this excrement planet of the mother of goddamn. You think that you are hip, not you? The foam of emo that takes Tom and its messages subhuman of my space of goddamn. This one is all of the absurd one. He is ridiculous and asinine. This one, I already read that. I will give return to all the human beings in the slaves, especially redheads. The world will be devoured in flame in 2012, and that time now is on you, the human pooers. You sweepings, you sell your kitten in the corners of the street. A true rain will someday come to wash to all of the foam, immundicia, and people without home of the streets. Destroy, excrement, taken, piss. Why the necessity? It only is so. Why there is nobody outside there with whom I can have an intellectual conversation. There's nothing but the whole subhuman of the ass, the concerned sweepings, the simple slowed down human beings in this website of the known internet as the God curses MySpace. By 5,000 years, anuses for my Hispanic ventilators towards outside there. I have crossed the galaxy. Now I have landed my art of the space here near Sith's roofing tiles, in where I have installed my home in an underground cave. How many million of these turds, radioactive, copulating to be human, a mutant of the mentally inferior mother, are due to exterminate by my ray of the laser death that horrifies, before of which President George W. Bush makes that he must give to control all great Grottu, last destructive rule of universal, of all the things that are sinister, revolting, offensive, and bases, to intention nobodies of weak human rinds without value, and you have a small dog of the German Shepherd who can have. I promise to give to the dog a good home, and will always caress, and I landed on water, the dog, master small dogs. Also I demand that I demand that one of you, the mental defective penises, gives to me jukebox of Vendemia. So, it sounds like I was wanting to get a dog and a jukebox. That's what I'm gathering from this. And a couple of months later, I would adopt my dog Daisy from the pound, and I would, and I got a jukebox too. So, writing this for MySpace, by putting this down on the computer screen, these spoken words turned into reality. Anyway, so that's what's in the Grottu folder. Who knows what else is here? This one's labeled photos. Oh man, here's me back about that time. That's what I used to look like. Oh my god. I look like a pimp or something. Yeah. Wow. This is probably about 2007. Holy shit. I gotta show this to my wife. Where did I put her recipe card? Oh, over there. Oh, look at this. My friend was friends with the Ramones. He directed one of their videos. Well, this is, when they were on stage, this is their song list that they had down at their feet, so they knew which songs they were gonna do next. This is a copy. This is not the original. If it was, man. So, and then it's a little bit more. And isn't that cool? This is what they would have, so they know the order of songs to go through. Oh, this was my idol when I was a Howard Stern addict. Beetlejuice. I don't think so, pal. I guess you're supposed to put this on the refrigerator to keep you from overeating. Here's a picture of Meg White, the drummer of the White Stripes, when she was like in high school. Yeah, these are from the old days. Pictures of Lucy Lawless. I love the Xena show, at least for a while I did. I don't remember who this actor is, but this is for a publicity photo from a Spider-Man movie that never got made. But this was, before Tobey Maguire, they were going to make a Spider-Man movie, and they took this publicity picture with whatever actor they were planning to use, and it's just a great, it's, whoever was going to do it looked like they had the right idea, because it looks like something drawn by Steve Ditko. Great picture of Fay Ray. We're still recording? Yes, we are. What else do we have here? Why, those folders are empty. Oh, this was a student of mine that was a really good artist. This is not her best work, but she was really good. And then I published as much work as I could get from her in the student magazine. And then she came back when she was graduating high school and really thanked me for that. So hopefully she'll someday be a published artist, because it was good stuff for, you know, like a 7th grader. It's good stuff. So I saved that because this is more of her work. That's a good mask. You know, the first mask I ever saw, right before spring break last year, when school was still in session, this kid, it must have been one, had like that mask that they wore in the actual plague years, with the bird beak that the people wore. I think they thought that would actually, that shape would actually, but it's like a raven's beak. It's very sinister looking. And this kid was just dancing around after school wearing it, and then spring break happened, and no one ever came back after spring break. But that was the first time I ever saw this, and I don't know where this kid got this thing that I've only seen in old paintings. But anyway, he was the harbinger of death. What is this? Oh, this was another, here's more student art that's really good. This was done back in this is done by a 4th grader in like the mid-90s. Picture of Catwoman with the bat signal. It's better than anything DC publishes now. And this was a picture, remember Napoleon Dynamite? I like that movie. This is a picture of Napoleon Dynamite and his friend. This is great. Who are you?